What's up, guys, and welcome to our podcast, Roots to the Game. My name is Sean. We got Josh over here, and we got James back there. We will be doing a video tomorrow. However, it will be with Kabir and Kyle and Anthony. And shout out to Valentine and Dom. So, word is that T.I. had drove all the way down to Guidance Colleges, like, just to make sure that his daughter is not having sex with different guys on the campus. So, so the question is, guys, is that do you think T.I. did the right thing as of to really check on his daughter like that?
I don't think it was the right thing. Well, my whole thing is that if he embarrasses her like that, where she has to go delete her social media accounts and unfollow them on Instagram, she's gonna want a revenge somehow. And the perfect way to do that in her situation would be to go with the guy. So it's gonna backfire on him, to be honest.
I think she's in a lose-lose situation because he has the stakes going against her. You know, when women are more promiscuous, their feelings are always at stakes, and it tends to go downhill because they're always going to have friends that want to bring them. They don't really bring them up. They do more activities that indulge with coping with more depression. So they'll get drunk and whatnot, and further fuel more pain, right, when you think about it. But at the same time, her father is always going to be keeping watch over her, so she can't really afford to slip up and choose to have revenge sex if she wants to, because there's no telling what the consequences will be in this house.
Like you said, he might kick her out.
That too.
Unless she has a career or something. I don't know what she'd do.
I mean, I think he's looking for approval. Yes, me.
Oh yeah, he went on a morning show and talked about it like it was a routine thing. Like, I'm bringing her to get her teeth cleaned. You know what I mean? That's what he was saying. It like, yeah, I brought her to the gynecologist and then checked her and everything.
You want to give kids freedom, but not too much freedom where they can repeatedly make mistakes over and over and over and again, and then you want to feel like you're the one being held accountable for their mistakes. But that's how they learn, and they live and they learn that way.
I mean, you gotta look at her friends too.
Well,
yeah.
Well, to me, here's the thing, because from the last time that I pretty much checked, like, I think, well, this is what I know.
Go ahead, Marlon.
Neither of us don't have kids, you know what I mean, and to really criticize what T.I. has definitely done. But, however, I am not here to really criticize what T.I. did, but what I can say is that, there's pretty much nothing that T.I. can really do in the situation, because his daughter is over 18, you know what I mean? And mostly teenagers who are not at that age, they make, dumb choices too, like to lose their virginity, you know what I mean, at that very early age. It's because I definitely know some people who had lost their virginity at the age of 11 or 12 years old. You know what I mean? So basically, I can see
she's a smart kid, so
yeah, but I can see where T.I. is definitely coming from, as to check on his daughter. But at the same time, I think, to me, T.I. really has to really understand this. Okay, you know what?
Yeah, the kids
my daughter
have to live their own life. You can't push your own agenda onto your kids.
Yeah, but T.I. is facing that phrase right now. It's like, okay, well, my daughter is old enough to make these type of choices. You know what I mean? And that there is nothing for me to do as a father. Now, parents can most definitely say to their child, how about I teach you something about the birds and the bees talk. But
she's 18, she got it.
Yeah, but
the concept of what's going on in this world, especially if she's on social media, she knows what's going on. Especially if she's in the
however though, I think parents don't actually teach their kids fully detailed as of like when it comes to sex. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure that all three of us in here right now, like, we probably had sex at the very age of 14 or 15 years old even. You know what I mean? And so, like, people actually make these type of dumb choices every single day. You know what I mean? Like rather this is based on sex, or rather this is just based on something else. You know what I mean? Like and this is all about you just learning from them. So,
do you think these choices lead to bad habits when it comes to choices? I guess.
Well, not when you are,
because you're
learning
unknowingly
from
going to
them.
know it's a bad choice when you're basing these choices off of your feelings at the moment. So you're obviously not going to see it as a bad choice in life.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a
Right.
trust issue thing with T.I. It's almost sending like a subconscious signal to her that my father doesn't trust me.
yeah.
That
bad
too, and I
thing.
heard people been saying stuff about his wife too. So
She'd be with Floyd Mayweather, please. Tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
she'd be partying with Floyd Mayweather.
it's a $1
I
million
don't trust her.
man. What
either.
can she do? I mean, she got to get bunker busted by him.
to be honest with you though,
Get
I mean, but
Jab cross.
to be honest with you, man, I feel like, listen, look, when it comes, look, there's a major difference between, you having this conversation with your son and you are having this conversation with your daughter.
That's
pretty
a
much.
good point.
And and plus, let me tell you why. Because when it comes to their sons, look, sons, I mean, they can just put on condoms. You know what I mean? Like, just to have sex with this female and that female. When it comes to daughters, they have to make sure that dude is actually wearing a condom, or sometimes is just doing it unprotected
Yeah,
sex.
that guy, he can get away with
You know what I
no
mean?
consequences
Yeah.
if they're they're not at stake.
But
if you don't get the full details of this person, he could leave you as a single mother. So
But here's the thing, though. Like,
Mhm.
are you proud of your son for getting
no,
some, or
No,
are
you-
you upset with your daughter for getting some? Like I'm saying, if it's
You
T.I.,
shouldn't.
a lot of guys are gonna
are you gonna high five your son and be like, "Damn, man, good job, man"?
but
lot of
like
fathers
when
would
you
do
when
that.
you actually look at both of that situations though, both the sons and the daughters have one thing in common, pretty much, that there are consequences afterwards. Rather there are STDs, rather there are babies, there are AIDS even. You know what I mean? Like
Because when you think about it,
you
sex
really gotta worry about.
rewires your mind. Like when you're only focused on sex, you begin to objectify a person too. If you're having sex with multiple women over and over, you're only going to see women just for how they can please you.
Or how they look.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah. And so that's why that I'm basically saying this. Listen, the thing about this is that I think what T.I. did the right thing, as what some fathers would do, or most fathers would do when it comes to their daughters. But however, sometimes like that could probably make that child feel like, oh well, you know what, I cannot be near my dad, pretty much, like because of the situation.
Yeah, she might rebel now, but at the
Yeah.
same time, if he wants achievements for the praise of being a good father, how
Why
about
would
you
he
actually step up to the plate
tell
and take
people?
interest in your kids? Like,
Why
I'm
would he
pretty
tell
sure you probably
people?
don't even know that much about
He
your
went on
kids.
a
besides,
morning
what
show.
they
He
do
went
on
on a
social
morning
media.
show and did that, bro. Like, why would you tell people that? Because you want to praise for being a good father. Maybe he grew up with a bad father and he wants to outshine him and not want to be like him, so he's going to do that. Maybe subconsciously. You never know, man.
This is what humans do. They always, emulate behavior. So
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like parents are trying to do their best when their kids is actually turning into that age where sex does comes involved here, and that condoms does comes involved here, or any type of disease that actually comes here.
maybe,
So
maybe for him, he don't see his daughter becoming a productive citizen after being turned out that way.
and
so.
and
Or he
and
thinks
look,
she's gonna turn out to be another young statistic. Maybe that's how I see
yeah,
it.
but
She's not gonna.
here's
do
the
nothing
thing
with her
though,
life.
and look, parents really handle things differently, like when it comes to the kids, and with them having sex. You know what I mean? Because sometimes kids, they just don't tell their parents, like, oh well, me and this person had sex,
Yeah, the fear
I
of
met this
reaction,
person at
yeah.
a bar, such and such, like, you know what I mean? Like, and stuff like that. but you know, like,
Let me ask you this:
Mm-hmm.
do you think it's a good thing that some parents are a little too carefree when it comes to how their parenting skills are?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because parents are never too carefree. You know what I mean? Like, to
You could say in this era,
question.
I see some parents that are carefree in this era. Yeah.
Well, because
Look at the distractions they have.
I mean, they have
the
parents,
reason
they just
why
care about
is
themselves.
because
You know what I mean?
I feel like parents is not being carefree is because that they're trying to do their best, like what is best for that child. As of like when that child meets that person, I mean, like, what does that parent like see them?
How can you take full responsibility for a kid when you're still trying to find yourself in life? At the same time, you're trying to find a purpose that's superficial. So you can't be on the internet
I mean,
praising, you know, malicious behavior and then, you know, trying to do something else on the sideline. So that means you have to take one with, you know, sole intent.
look at the statistics.
Which one do you take
though.
more serious?
I mean, I don't know the number, but I've read that a majority of people who have babies when they are in their teens, their babies who they had will have babies in their teens.
Oh yeah,
Whether it be from behavior that they learn, it could be a learned behavior that they see their mother was having a baby. Then why can't they do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Behavior and device.
But
A lot of parents will literally spill the beans about how you came to be in this world, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of kids, they'll, you know, think that's.
But
I guess a
when
comfort issue.
you think about this though, and this is what I am probably guessing because you know, because my folks had this conversation with me before, you know, like you shouldn't have sex before you get married, pretty much.
Oh yeah. No. No. Yeah, I know. I got it.
I mean, well, parents actually have their conversations with their kids as like, listen, I think that you should wait until you get married. But you know what?
What if the kid says, "But you guys didn't wait"?
You
know what I
yeah,
mean?
right.
Yeah.
You know, but when you think about it this way, you know, parents are not going to be always around their child 24/7. So you don't know what type of choices your child makes when your child walks out of their front door.
And
You know what I
it's a
mean?
trust issue, so you only give your kid.
It is, yeah.
You can only take your kid on their word. So if you don't trust your kid, it's like.
That's why it's always important to have dinner, man, with your kids, man, and talk to them and eat with them, because then you can tell if something's going on, because you know your kid, you raised the kid.
When you see the kid's tendencies, if you actually take care of them, that's the only problem that you're gonna, you know, that's only gonna fall.
But you know, like from what I said before though, like I am not here to criticize what T.I. did. It's because once again, like I am not a parent myself. So could all three of us speak on the fact from what T.I. did? Absolutely not. But what we can say about T.I. is that, you know what, there's absolutely nothing that you can really do when your child makes that type of choice and that decision, like to lose their virginity. I mean, like when it comes to that consequence.
Maybe people didn't have that much of a problem with it, but the fact that he publicized it, you know, it shouldn't have been built around sensationalism like that.
But I think for also, you know, parents must make sure that their child is being careful of whoever that their child open the door to. You know what I mean? Because like,
yeah, but at the same time, it's an inevitable process that they have to embrace. It's a part of life. I mean, isn't that how you came to be when you think about it? But I know there's always safe sex, but
is it ever safe though? It's always a risk.
Sometimes, sometimes, yeah, it is. Though sometimes, you know what I mean. And this go back to my point. You
can't
know,
really question if you find the right person. I mean, you have to take people's words on that. I mean, you know, you do background checks on people. It's not really hard to. Find out history. When
you can go on Facebook and see somebody's history or Instagram.
It's not
like, what would you do in
Snapchat,
Snapchat's history? Yeah, everybody has their identities and everything online. For real, like you got your whole life online. Anybody can find out about you, what you did.
But look at it from
test the history.
Look at it from this point of view though. How about you look at it this way? Everybody, and this includes parents as well, everybody makes dumb choices in their lives. You know what I mean? And life is really all about you learning from them, is because once you let somebody come into your life, pretty much, you are the student, pretty much, in the situation.
Yeah, a lot of times
They
you gotta take a
are
gamble in life if
the
you wanna get somewhere.
teachers. They are the teachers. They can definitely teach you something about, bad things happening here, good things happening here, or worse things happening there. And then when it comes to sex, oh man, like they can teach you all kinds of things though, but as long as you don't put your feelings involved in it. Because once you do that, I promise you, you will be hurt all over again.
Yeah, it's hard to do that nowadays. You live in a
It is, yeah,
society
it
nowadays
is.
where their feelings are more desensitized due to everything with the stipulations running around. So we're taught that sex is just to only please ourselves and not to think anything else but of the act in the moment, I guess.
Here's the thing though,
like it's only harmless sex. Like what's the a lot of people will see it that way.
To a lot of people in this country, pretty much, I want to say probably about between 96 or 97% of people in this country, they had sex before they had even got married.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like when you are trying to teach your kid, oh well, this is what the Bible says here and the Bible says there though. But mind you though, your kid probably had made that type of decision before you even told them.
It's getting younger and younger, man.
It is. Younger and
younger
you know what I
with
mean?
this shit.
Because at some point, you know what I mean, like I definitely got siblings, you know what I mean, like that are like 17 and 13 and 14 years old.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
and
like that too, man.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So am I here like to really tell them, hey, look, you should probably wait until you get married? No, because that is not into my hands, pretty much. That is basically in their hands. You know what I mean? So, that being said, man, listen, I think T.I. did the right thing if you look at it from a father standpoint, but can you really do much in the situation? No, because again, you know what I mean. Look, sometimes people,
You might try a different tactic. You never know. What if you try to scare her down?
he probably did, but still,
But like made it wear like a baby thing or something.
Yeah,
like a
You
weight.
never know.
yeah.
Everybody has a different approach and different tactics on their
Tell him
kids
to go
how it
focus
works.
on making an album or something, man. Don't be focusing on this stupid stuff.
But when you got kids involved, I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but sometimes it
you
works,
definitely
like,
got to worry
when
about
you
your
think
kids
about-
too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but that's where his income comes from music. I mean,
Think about how fragile the human mind is. All it takes is a repetition for you to believe something. So it's easy to scare certain people in this world.
I mean, if she has a career by herself where she can sustain herself, then I think it's all right. But if she's depending on him for money, he has a right to say, "Listen, this is what I want you to do with the money I give you." You know
she's
what I
only
mean?
going to put herself in her predicament because any guy that pursues sex with her, they're going to put it on the internet. T.I. going to see it, probably going to go crazy. Then, she's going to be looked at as another, statistic on the internet. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she's more at risk to suffer from it then. But like I said, she's a smart girl. She's not,
She deleted her accounts, man. She's not gonna stay on there and try to get popular. It's a good thing.
To me, though, man, you know what? Thing is about you having sex at a teenager age. The more that you have sex, that's the more feelings that your feelings will be involved. And then as you get older, once you start having sex with somebody, it will really get to the point where you want to settle down with that person, you know what I mean? Like, because you basically have sex. But that is really not your feelings telling you this. That is basically just, sex. Like,
the
that's
lust and
that's
desire,
telling you that. Yeah, exactly. So look, I mean that's the problem. That's the problem now, with this whole sex thing that is really just going on right now. You know what I mean? Like, as of people just don't care whether you have a good heart or that you are a good person or not. They just really want to know what can you do like to really please that person. And thing is though, and the best way nowadays in this generation is to really have sex with that person and to figure out, okay, well, do I want to deal with this as of moving forward?
Do you think that marriage or standards for marrying come from society, or do you think that people want to get married, or do you feel like they have to?
They do it because it's an expectancy when you think about it. All the
We're
stipulation
expected
all the stipulation that becomes behind the marriage and the title of it, society will see you as a more structured-minded, more responsible person, I guess, right?
There's more ways to please somebody than just sex. You can cook for them. You can buy them something. You
This
can,
new era,
you know,
you can take them out even.
Like, you can take them out.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
cook
When you go on
a good
social-
meal. Like,
When you
come
go
on.
on social media, you have the access of men and women at your fingertips, so it's all optional.
Yeah.
Why should you go out and conform to anyone's ideas when you can easily, get an easy access to someone else, right?
You try to emulate somebody.
That's
too.
to certain people though. I mean, like when you really think about it, like, you know what I mean?
If someone is not meeting your ideas, you can go on social media, you can find your, easy partner for tonight.
A
Simple.
dating website, like
Yeah.
I mean, well, that too, of course. Yeah, you, but
Yeah.
still, you know.
Shout
but,
out to OkCupid.
But
Oh, okay.
as of for T.I., I think, according to him, I think that he did the right thing from a father standpoint. You know what I mean? But still, like, we cannot criticize what a mother did to their child or what a father did. You know what I mean? It's because all of us, or as a matter of fact, all parents had different standards, like to really handle what their kids is basically doing, and how should a parent like deal with that? Good question, and we would never know.
See, like, my thing is with T.I.'s situation, how long is this going to go on for? Because she's 18, right?
She's 19, I think.
19,
right?
yeah. How long are you going to
okay.
keep bringing her to appointments to get checked to see if she didn't have sex? Are you going to determine when she has sex? Because that would be ridiculous.
That's a good question.
Are you going to determine that?
Who knows? Like, you know what I
might
mean?
try to manipulate her into forcing her to
I like
pursue
this
a
guy
career
for
just to get her
you.
out the house.
So you should go with him, and then I won't bring you to the doctor anymore, or something like that. That's
Here's
just
the thing,
ridiculous.
Here's the thing, though. A person can really tell you, oh, well, I definitely like you for you, and I love you for you.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Once you go in the same bed with that person, and then that leads on to sex, pretty much, that person doesn't really like you for you. They just like what you are giving them, pretty much, and that is just some good bomb sex.
That's what I said. It's if you're friends with the person first, you're probably better off for a lasting relationship, because you're gonna like something about that person besides sex. But if you just
compatibility,
if you just hit right away, that's where you're building a relationship on.
Then that will go downhill.
You can't be
think
friends first, friends after that.
Show their worth by giving them easy sex within the first couple of dates.
No, that worth goes downhill immediately. It's like a roller coaster, bro. Like Steel Force and Dorney Park, that goes downhill because it's like if you give somebody sex immediately,
they don't have nothing to work for, right?
nothing. What else you gonna offer them? Like I said, you can cook for them, you can buy them gifts. Other than that,
He already got his rocks off, so
Yeah.
it's like, why should he even have to try anymore?
there's no point.
But here's the thing, though. For T.I.'s daughter, she's really at that type of age where like she needs to focus on herself first.
Her
and foremost.
career, what she's doing with her
Yeah,
life.
but when you are a teenager, pretty much, I mean, like your hormones pretty much is really up here. Yeah, like, you know what I
How
mean?
did this come up in the first place? That's why I want to know. How did this come up? Like, did she start talking about sex, or did he just, voluntarily, forcefully just talking about, are you having
How
sex?
did the
Like, how did this
conversation
come
went
up?
down?
How did this come up?
But like, as you get to 21 or as you get older, pretty much, you know what I mean? Like, that phrase would just hit you as of like, man, look, like I am just tired of the BS. You know what I mean? Look, like, let's just get to know each other more first, because eventually, you know, does the whole sex thing, like, you know, comes like right down the line? Absolutely. But, you know, if you don't get to know that person first, then that will go downhill, man, for you. You know, and
it has to be
man,
built on the foundation.
That's why come, like, you know, like, not just your folks, but so many people is just trying to tell you, man, listen, look, if I was you, you know, just slow your roll, take your time, you know what I mean? Because this goes for any relationship, any marriage even. Yes, sex is never going to be involved, but you got to think bigger than that.
How about y'all get off your phones and get off social media?
Take a break for a little bit.
Yeah.
See what happens with your life.
Do something.
I mean,
read a book.
like,
Read a book or
Go to
something.
compound relationship. Actually know each other, man. So then y'all don't have to hide no secrets
Have
from
experiences other than sex. Go to
each other. Y'all
different
don't know
spots.
each other. That's why y'all always hiding secrets, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't built on companionship.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you something right now. Sex is not always the answer. You know what I
It's
mean?
not always guaranteed either, buddy. You could be
It is
spending a
not
lot of
always
money on,
guaranteed
you know,
either. Because I have seen people have sex with their wives, with their girlfriends, right? But and you know, boyfriends and husbands too. But at the same time, if your partner steps out of it and sees something better, or is seeing something like that will please them more, or pretty much, then you are totally screwed.
Yeah, make it reciprocal so we don't sound too sexist, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like, seriously, yeah, I mean, that's the truth. I mean, so what can you do?
Yeah, definitely get off of social media so you don't feel the need to compare yourself to other people. Because then, if you're on social media and you're always comparing your partner in a relationship to another person, that's
Listen,
going to become an easy access. That's going to become another option for you. Another
like
guy
they
to
said,
choose
like
off
they're
your,
saying,
your
there's always
principles.
somebody bigger than you. There's always somebody tougher. There's always somebody stronger. There's always somebody better looking. There's always somebody with a better body than you. You're always going to be trying to get to the top.
Yeah, but they
So
can't
stop
imitate
doing
how
it.
the person makes you feel. They can't imitate, behaviors. So there's always special qualities about, everybody in this world when you think about it.
So, with that being said, man, I'm about to close this out. T.I., I think that you did the right thing. If you're seeing this video or not, pretty much, I am not criticizing you, which I probably said that probably like 5 times already. You know what I mean? But, try to be more understanding as of like why your daughter actually make that type of choice. You know what I mean? Because if you don't, I promise you, she would just push you away for good, and she'll feel like that she cannot come to you about sex, about anything, period, because of like the first thing that
Or she could get brainwashed. You never know. Some people.
the first thing that a parent would do is to be like, yo, so why did you do A, B, and C? Without you, like, just sitting down fully and then just having a conversation with them, and then like, okay, listen, look, you cannot do this no more. You know what I mean? Because this happens here, this happens there, and then next thing you know, when all this is said and done, you will be the one hurt, not that person, because you did not follow your standards. So look, T.I., much respect for you, as to what you did, you know what I mean? That's what some fathers or most fathers would do, pretty much. And especially for moms too. I mean, of course. But, as for you, I think that you did the right thing, and and just continue to be a good father, pretty much. And that goes for any parent, in fact. But just know that there is nothing that you can do when your child is making these type of choices. Whether it's me, whether it's Josh, whether it's James, or anybody here, period. So guys, that being said, we will be doing a video tomorrow. I don't know if these two will show up for sure, but you know,
Might be there.
that
Make no promises.
yeah. So with that being said, man, thanks for seeing this video, and again, shout out to all the viewers, all the love and the support that we all got, and for me from DC, ATL, Pittsburgh, Philly, I mean just all over, man. Thank y'all, and I really appreciate y'all. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Again, this is Roots to the Game. I'm Sean, James, aka Two Wiz, and Josh, aka Next Karate Kid.
Yeah, blood game.